Hey guys, this is the Endgame Level 3, and I want to talk about quote-unquote universal boss tips that you can use going into a dungeon blind. Now, I know that not all MMOs follow the same rules, hence why I said quote-unquote universal. So this is coming from more of a World of Warcraft, Final Fantasy XIV perspective, MMORPGs that are like that. And while I'm not the best player in the world, I'm actually kind of bad, I believe I do have enough experience that I can give my 2 cents on this subject. Now, why am I making this video? I'm making this video because there was someone I was watching on a stream that felt really bad that they were playing FF14 badly on a boss. They are new to MMOs, and they just got into Final Fantasy XIV, and they were dying, and it didn't help out that the healers said they were a waste of mana to revive them. But I told the person, I was like, a lot of these players, including myself, are not new to MMOs, so you'll have them leaning on experiences that they had in FF14 and in other MMOs to guide them. And also, I haven't seen any videos on this subject as well, so I thought, well, I want to make this video to help them and just help people in general who are new to MMORPGs. Now, unfortunately, this is going to be from more of a DPS perspective. Tanks and healers can use the tips applied here, but it's going to be from, again, more on DPS. So one thing you can do that might be uncomfortable for some people is tell your group, if you're going into this dungeon blind, I'm new. FF14 does this automatically. However, I think players kind of ignore that. So it's great before they pull a boss, you type in, hey, I'm new. What am I looking out for? Now for World of Warcraft, that could be a different story. The community is kind of toxic. Now, I haven't played World of Warcraft since the middle of Warlords of Draenor, but I haven't heard anything about any change in the community. So if you tell them that you're new, someone might want to kick you out if you're new. So your mileage may vary in WoW. I don't know about other communities because I have not played any other MMOs. I mean, besides also Guild Wars 2, but I didn't play enough of that to get a feel. So you are going into the boss fight and you don't want to say anything because you're nervous. There's 2 things that, in my opinion, are the biggest things you have to do while doing this boss fight blind. And that is, 1, what is your party doing? What are they doing? Are they focusing on the boss? Are they focusing on another enemy? Are they moving to a different area as a group? Really follow your party. So swing your camera around, see what they're doing, pull back the camera as far back as you can so you can see the entire, all of your surroundings, and see what they're doing. That way you won't get caught in an AoE, or you can switch to the ad they're attacking to get it down faster. But yes, what your party is doing is a big thing. What are they doing? Follow their lead. The other thing, and I might get some flack for this, is mechanics over DPS. It's great that you might have great DPS, but it's not great if you die not doing the mechanics, or if you're not focusing on the right thing. So while you might be dead and you did, like, let's say 10k DPS, and the other guy is doing the mechanics, he's doing 5k DPS, well, that guy who's doing 5k DPS and living is going to do more damage. So yes, mechanics over DPS, but that doesn't mean don't do DPS. So do DPS when you can, but overall learn the fight, because then once you learn the fight, that's when you can start applying, optimize your DPS. Let's get to more the details of what to do during a boss fight blind. Now keep in mind the whole, what is your party doing while applying these tips? So first off, it seems pretty universal, so stand behind the boss. You don't want to be in front of the boss. If you're in front of the boss, you're doing it wrong. Stand behind the boss. Another thing that's pretty universal is don't stand in fire. In fact, that's in most games. Don't stand in fire. There is the rare chance that for whatever reason the boss might throw an AoE that's not fire and it's helpful for whatever. But yeah, don't stand in the fire. That's why, again, applying back to what are your party members doing? That maybe there is that chance that AoE actually is a healing AoE, or you have to stand in it for whatever reason. The other thing to do is attack additional enemies or adds. So if you see another enemy, attack it. Because usually they're going to do something. They're going to do whatever. They're distracting you, or it's going to be something where you have to attack it usually. Now, it's not always the case, but again, if you see an ad, usually attack it. And if there's multiple different kinds of ads, again, this is not quite the same for every MMO, but usually it's attack healers first, attack range, and then attack melee, then go back to the boss. So that's what you do when you see ads. Okay, now the other thing that you might run into is there could be something above your head, like a target or whatever. If you see something above your head, run away from the group. You're most likely being targeted by the boss, and you do not want to get your party members in its attack. So if it's throwing an AoE, it's going to hit your party members if you're near them. So when you see something above your head, run away from your party. Now, another thing is, if your party member is targetable, you usually want to attack them, because they could be charmed or confused, so they'll become an enemy until you DPS them down to a certain amount of health to bring them back. Or they can have a jail or a prison or something that's around them that you need to break them out of. A lot of these tips, your mileage may vary, but these are just basic universal tips. So if you're just going in, you don't know, if you see an ad, attack it. If you see something over your head, run away. Your party member is targetable, attack them. More likely than not, you will be fine if you do that. But the most important thing is, what is your party doing? I'm going to show you here a boss fight that I did in Final Fantasy XIV. This boss fight, I had nothing going in. I was going in completely blind. And this is a perfect example of me putting everything I said into practice. Okay, so here is the Lakshmi fight. I think that's how you pronounce it. Pronounce it, excuse me. Yeah, I can't really pronounce the names in this game. But yeah, this is Primal Fight in Stormblood, so I don't know this fight at all, but this is an example of me learning this fight using everything I know that I learned from this game, Final Fantasy XIV, and other MMOs. Unfortunately, you're gonna see some really bad gameplay. If you're a black mage, you're going to be face palming a bunch. I apologize, but this isn't me wanting an excuse to show my bad gameplay. Is me showing how I used everything I said earlier in the basic tips and apply that here. So let's start the fight. So by the way, I'm reading the thing and I mess up, and as you can see, I'm gonna die a bunch because I didn't read the tooltip correctly or something. It said disguised as a snake lady, but right there, as you can see, I'm already focusing on the ads. That was one of the tips that I was talking about earlier. You see an ad, you usually go off and kill it. Now, the other thing you're gonna see me do during this fight is I'm going to swing my camera around to see what everybody else is doing. So you're not seeing it, you're going to see it a few times because I want to know what my party members are doing. I'm not really 100% focused on trying to do good DPS. Just want to see what everybody else is doing. So right there, I'm looking, I'm like, okay, what's going on? Maybe there's something new or I'm not seeing it. And there you go. Now I have something over my head my first reaction is to make sure I don't kill anybody, but there you go. I killed myself. I forgot. You can fall off platforms in boss fights in this game. So I was like, but you can get revived. But as you can see, there was 2 tips right there that I talked about earlier. The ads and having the target over your head right away from other games and Final Fantasy XIV already applied those tips. Now I'm watching what to do here with my other team, party members, excuse me. As you can see, they had stuff over their head. What they did, they went away from the party. So there you go. So that's, so as you can see, those tips are already coming in handy. So here's the other thing. I'm looking at what my teammates are doing. I'm kind of like, okay, I see these balls. I see kind of what my teammates kind of go in them. So I'm thinking, okay, that's what I gotta do. Well, I'm getting kind of confused here. It's like, why am I not getting a bubble? This goes back into that tooltip. I'm thinking, oh, I'm waiting to become a snake lady. I'm assuming when it said something about being a snake, like in disguise. I forget what the tooltip said, but I was also looking to see when to press the button to become a snake lady, because that's what I thought it was. And that never happens. You don't become a snake lady. So that's the other reason why you see me move around my camera. It's like, okay, when do I have to press this button? When do I have to press this button? But no. And you see, I died. That's my second death in this fight. Because I am new to this fight. I don't know exactly what I'm doing. And then, again, I'm trying to get into these bubbles thinking I think this is what I have to do. And I died once again. Ooh, my voice. There we go. Let's try to. Okay, there we go. And so I die again. I'm like, oh gosh. But I'm using my death now to kind of study the fight. See, look, they have a thing over their head, moving off to the side and moving away from the party. Now, here's one thing I didn't know that now I'm seeing for the first time. The AoEs that they drop, it spreads. I did not know this until I saw that. So death can be very important tool to learn even a boss fight. And yeah, as you can see now, I'm getting rezzed. I'm also again looking around. Now this is going to be the very few times where you see something above your head and you have to be close to your teammate because you have to, so everybody can absorb the damage. But most of the time, as you can see, if you have something over your head, run away. More often than not in boss fights, if you see something in your head, run away. It's not, whatever's over your head may be different in whatever, in WoW or Guild Wars or whatever, but that's why you have to play your game to find out. You have to say what, but usually if you're going in blind, you see something over your head, you never know you don't know what it is, run away from your teammates. Now, finally I figured out by just pressing the button, okay, what does this actually do? And I find, oh, it giving me the bubble, and now, from this point on, I kind of figured out what this fight was all about. So as you can see, the thing, everybody spread out with their, with a little, I guess, flower blossom thing over their head. Because that's pretty universal. Everything that I have done here, that I'm doing here was basic universal things that I have learned over the years playing MMORPGs. More specifically playing WoW and now FF14 with a little bit of Guild Wars 2 there. But yeah, no one is perfect. I died 3 times in this fight, so I'm not going to be dying anymore. I'm still, again, I'm looking here. Again, just not doing a lot of DPS, just paying attention to see what else she could do, because I'm trying to learn the mechanics over DPS. That doesn't mean don't do DPS. As you can see, I'm still doing DPS, but learning to fight means dying, because as Adam Savage from Mythbusters said, failure is an option. And in this case, I died 3 times. I absolutely got carried in this fight. It is not an argument that I didn't. I got carried, and I don't mind. And that's okay. You're gonna be fine. You're going to die a lot. That's the whole point of learning these fights. But yeah, what do you guys think? What are some tips that I didn't say that could be applied to many MMOs? Put them down below. Comment down below those tips. I could make a second video. But yeah, if you like what you saw, hit the subscribe button, ring the bell. If you can follow me on Twitter. I also have Twitch, so you can follow me on those places as well. But yeah, now I can say thank you very much. Hopefully I will see you next video.